Hello, and welcome to the Nairobi Review, the show that intends one day to become the Kenyan version of The Daily Show. My name is Katie Fentress, and I am your host. I too intend one day to become the Katie version of Trevor Noah, but given that I don't have the decades of experience in stand-up comedy, let's just say that I would happily settle for the minor role of Mrs. Trevor Noah. On our show today, we will be discussing President Uhuru Kenyatta's announcement that he intends to direct the government of Kenya to disperse millions of shillings to local artists. We will furthermore be looking at containment in Nairobi, what the situation is vis-a-vis the wearing of masks, how challenging that makes running, and while on the subject of challenges, what exactly the general worldwide mania with challenges currently is. We will also be introducing a new segment, courtesy of our maybe DJ Raf, arts and culture correspondent, who will be broadcasting from the dungeon, telling us about what the lives of the week were like for him. Before going on though, we would like to highlight one piece of positive news that we have seen coming out of the Kenyan newscape this week. This is that the Kenyan Medical Research Institute has announced that it now has the capacity to scale up COVID-19 testing from hundreds a day to a total of 5,000 people a day. They are doing this by converting machines that were previously used for testing for HIV and TB. This is an excellent move forward for Kenya, so go Team Kenya. Back in March, when we were still in the initial throes of the current apocalyptic times, here at TNR, we were trying to launch a campaign called #AdoptAnArtist. Well, it would seem that the government got wind of what we're doing, because during the announcement earlier this week on the new containment measures in Kenya for COVID-19, President Uhuru Kenyatta finished his speech with an announcement that he had directed the Kenyan Copyright Board to disperse 200 million shillings to Kenyan artists, and adding that he'd furthermore instructed the Kenyan Ministry for Sports, Culture and Heritage to disperse a further 100 million shillings to Kenyan musicians, artists and performers. We went and looked at what the reactions of these two boards had been to this announcement, and the next day on the Ministry for Culture, Sports and Heritage Twitter, we found announcements that the Kenyan Premier League was being cancelled, that the Kenyan rugby season was being cancelled, but there was no mention of any money. On the Kenya Copyright Board Twitter account, instead, we saw that on the day of the announcement, they were live tweeting what he was saying, and 2 days later, they came up with a series of little slides which explained what was happening. So, as far as we understood, the 200 million shillings in question had already been assigned to artists back in January by the president. And so this was just the president underscoring that he intends to stand by this pledge. And the Copyright Board went on to say that Kenyan artists should not expect to be seeing any of that money in their pockets anytime soon, because consultations were still ongoing between the creative sector and the government as to how to make this happen. And there was also an announcement which caused a bit of confusion, because initially the government said they were urging people to wear masks in public spaces, but then we got reports people were being fined, and then within 24 hours of these reports, there was a more official statement saying that now it was mandatory to wear masks in public spaces. This raises an interesting question that we had been looking at all week about the efficacy, I can't say that word, of masks. And in fact, on that note, we had sent our Corona correspondent, Mr. BM, to do some research on the very topic. Hi, BM.
Hey, Katie.
How's your Corona week been?
My Corona week has been quiet, trying to take things easy, read, mindfulness, yeah.
So, tell us the story of the week, well, there's many stories of the week, but one of the stories of the week is that the government is now insisting that we wear masks. Could you give us some background on that?
I think there's been a lot of confusion around the question of face masks and using face masks, but after studies of the simulation of micro droplets in the atmosphere, it's been shown that they stay much longer, and it's not just the sneezing and coughing, but even talking. And so now people are advised to have face masks on to avoid any eventuality of having droplets coming into contact with us.
Okay, so just to confirm, do all masks work? Is there any specific mask? What about N95 ones? Should we all be going by N95 masks? What's the situation with regards to which masks we should be using?
Yesterday, the Ministry of Health reiterated what it had said earlier in the week, which is N95 masks are exclusively for healthcare workers. But there are different masks that can help protect us from the virus. So there's cloth masks. People have been advised to, if we can make cloth masks, especially 3-ply.
So random, but out of interest, how does that, the rule about wearing masks in public, does that also include running? Like, are we exposed to use them if we go exercising in the park?
There was a study on simulation on movement. This is running and walking, and they also did it with different positions, with someone in front of you, with someone diagonally behind you. And the thing is, as we've talked about this micro droplets,
someone needs to go somewhere, someone has somewhere to be.
With the micro droplets, when you walk, you breathe harder. So most people have been told keep a distance of 1 to 2 meters, but if you're walking directly behind someone or exercising, the distance has been, if you're walking, 4 to 5 meters. But if you're running, jogging, it's been advised to keep 10 meters, preferably with the mask.
So I suppose that means we have a weekend activity now. We can start sewing our own masks.
Perhaps, yeah, we should.
Okay, fantastic. Let's do it. Well, thank you very much. This has been very fun.
Yeah.
I hope the trap music on the balcony upstairs has not been too annoying for you or our listeners. But yeah, thank you, BM. Over and out.
Thank you, Katie.
You see, masks are challenging. Thank God the government has decided on our behalf, so we don't need to worry about this anymore. Do you know what else is challenging? Being challenged to a million things every single day. You've never been tagged on social media in the last few weeks? Consider yourself lucky. We have friends of ours who are currently undergoing double-digit challenges. Anything from strange TikTok videos to handstands. I mean, you name it, it's happening. But seeing that I know very, very little about this, we thought we would send our lifestyle correspondent, Miss Grace, to go and find out more. Over to you, Grace.
The internet has spoken, and people, we need to listen. No, just no. No more challenges, no more nominations, not even bingo, god damn it. There seems to be an unruly number of challenges coming through from the internet currently, and Lord knows why the number keeps rising by the day. Even myself, I found myself participating in 1 or 2 of these challenges, but it is just time to leave this narrative behind us. It's time to move forward to a more productive internet era. I mean, that's all we have to do nowadays, right? Just the internet, might as well make use of it. People, no more don't rush. No more flip the switch. No more I'm a savage. No more around the world challenge. Pass the auxiliary. R&B challenge. First picture we took as a couple. Really? Selfies of myself and nominate 10 people. Baby picture challenge. What is even the point? Post a song starting with the first letter of my name challenge. What? What? See a shot, take a shot. Listen, you do not need the internet to tell you that it is rude to see somebody taking a shot and not take one with them. It's time to leave it behind us, people. No more. And if you will not take it from us at the TNR desk, please go to La Sizwa's page on Instagram and she will explain it to you a bit better. Bye.
Thank you, Grace. Of course, if you really hate these challenges, you might as well stay away from social media in the first place. One person that has been really struggling to get used to this new world of social media is our arts and culture producer and actual music producer, maybe DJ Raf. So, DJ maybe Raf, maybe DJ Raf, over to you.
Hello, this is not DJ Raf, just back in the basement. I'll talk to us today about music happenings during this time. Right now I'm looking at Facebook page 254 Diaspora DJs on the mix. And now suddenly the one thing most of us have on social media and online is getting together for live streaming performances. Deep shift is taking place in how we communicate, interact, even in the organization of society. I'm wondering how this changes after lockdown or quarantine or whatever. I think streaming is about to become a bigger deal for both artists and their audiences. So from tomorrow and every Sunday, just check out Bad Mambo on Mixcloud, Facebook, and all these things. And yeah, see you then. Bye.
Thank you, maybe, DJ Ralph. That was very interesting. With that, we come to the end of today's show. There was, however, one final thing we wanted to share with you, which was more in the form of a question rather than anything else. This question came to all of our minds after having finished watching the fascinating Netflix series King of Tigers. The question is actually directly made for Ezekiel Mutua, who is the head of the Kenya Classification Board and basically the head of our morality police. Now, if you remember, about a year and a bit ago, there was a big furore here in Nairobi about 2 lions of the male gender who were found to be mating in Nairobi National Park. Now, we remember very clearly that Ezekiel Mutua asked whether it was possible. In fact, he insisted that probably there had been a corrupting influence that had come into the park and had turned these animals from lovely heterosexual cats into gay cats. So our question for Ezekiel Mutua is, Mr. Mutua, do you believe it be possible that Joe Exotic actually came to Kenya and corrupted our cats? Just a thought. Just think about it. Get back to us if you have any thoughts. We are welcome to go after that guy for corrupting the cats of East Africa. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. It has been fantastic as usual. This is me signing out. Until next week. Bye.